Okay, hello class. Welcome. We're gonna create something really easy, simple, and it's gonna be really helpful for you when you're setting up your shapes, working on your projects, or working on future projects. So let's begin. So let's go to create new, and we're gonna customize our artboard. Okay, right here I'm gonna put artboard assignment, just in case we need to save. Sometimes, again, computers and everything crashes. Programs do crash, so let's just be safe. Okay, so the width should be, let's do 500. Just keep it very simple. Square 500. Okay, now we're gonna have multiple artboards. So let's go here, click on 3, just for now. Okay, and the bleed. Oh, I don't even know. Okay. Okay, so here we're going to actually go to millimeters and we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay, and just leave it like that. CMYK. So CMYK is what you choose if you want to print something. RGB is only for internet or anything that's related to a screen. It's going to show on the screen, but we're going to choose CMYK for now. 300 ppi. So this is like a higher quality and this is lower quality. So when you upload something that's 72 ppi, you can tell it's a little bit pixelated. The quality is not that great. So let's choose high. Let's go default mode is fine. Okay, let's go to more settings just to see. Okay, spacing looks good. We don't have to worry about the spacing between the artboards. Okay, and then click on create document. Okay, so it's going to load up and it's going to show your 3 artboards. Okay, so I'm going to explain a little thing about the bleeds. So anything, well, actually, let's start with printing. So when you print something or you send it off to a printer, sometimes things do go offset. Like things go wrong. So the bleed is there to protect you. This is going to say, hey, so when you upload as a PDF, it's going to basically protect whatever's inside the little red square, and it's going to only trim whatever's outside the square. So this is very helpful for you to set up your page, and this is also anything in the canvas is going to be protected. So there's a way you can set that up. But for right now, let's just focus on the artboards. Hopefully, I don't know if I said that clear enough, but I'm going to go ahead and post a different video about bleeds. Okay, so if you want to customize your artboards, it's pretty easy. Okay, so you're going to go to your toolbar section. Let me move this towards the, okay, so toolbar section, there's a section right here, artboard tools, and then you're going to have artboard options on the properties panels. It's really cool. I really do enjoy this a lot. So I'm going to click on artboard options and you can customize. You can change the shape. You can change where the artboard is. You can, let's see. Okay, and you can also rearrange them if you want to. So you can rearrange and it's going to show you how you can rearrange them. So let's do column and press OK. You can rearrange them towards, you can do 2 columns and press OK. But honestly, that doesn't really matter. This is mostly for people who need to organize a little bit better. Okay, so let's go to Windows. Okay, and let's go to Artboard. This is going to be extra helpful for people. So Artboard, you can select one. You can go to Windows and Artboard, click on one, and immediately it's going to show up. So you don't have to go to the Artboard navigation section. You can just go to right here and work on your artboard. You can also change the name. So you can go front, middle, and back. If you want to, let's say if you feel like one page would be better in the front, or your flow is a little off, you want to place one in the middle. So let's go back and let's click and drag up So this is going to be number 1, and you can also rearrange them however you want. It's pretty easy. You can rearrange the artboards here, and this is also helpful with moving your artboard. You can add an artboard, so you can click on add, and now you have a 4th one, and we can name last. It's pretty simple. Okay, now if you want to change the size of your artboard, select this. It's pretty easy. Artboard options, and let's go with, well, you know what? Let's change the units. Let's do that first. So go to object. No, not. Let's go to edit, preferences, and units. Here you go. Okay, if you feel more comfortable with inches, you can choose inches, and automatically it's going to change this section right here into inches. It's pretty easy. Now let's go, and it used to be 5 by 5. Now we're going to, actually let's select them all. So we can select different artboards. Make sure this is selected right here. Press shift and you're able to select all of your artboards. We can change the size. Let's do 5 by 5 again. And we can also rearrange the spacing. Let's just rearrange the spacing. Let's see if that works. There you go. So you can rearrange again whenever you change the sizing of the artboard. Okay, so that's pretty easy. For the next section, I'm going to show you how to navigate your artboards and place them on a ruler, or using the ruler, arrange them using that. And all right, so we're going to take a little break and we'll continue on. Welcome back. We're going to do a couple more things onto the artboards, and then we're going to move on to the rulers. Okay, another pro tip is anytime you want to edit, again, select the artboard section here on the toolbar. If you cannot find it, you can go to more options and then drag and drop here. Okay, so how do you delete them? Pretty easy. You just select one, make sure you see the marquee, and then delete. You can do that to all of them, except for the one in the front. Okay, that's completely fine. And then let's go back to artboard. You can create new ones by using the tool. I'm going to press shift. It's similar to how we create shapes. There you go. Click and then drag out. Okay, and then I'm going to create a smaller one, and you can see, pay attention to what's going on here. Okay, so I'm going to create 4. Okay, so I want to align them. Again, our tools, shift, and select your shapes. And you can also use the align section to even them out and change the spacing if you want to do that. But fair warning, it's not exactly the same, so you might have to rearrange them by different means. Rearrange all, and then we're going to go this way, and then press OK. So yeah, you're going to have to make sure everything's set. Okay, it's getting better, slowly getting better. Rearrange all. Let's do 1 column. Okay, layout order. Let's do more spacing. Artwork. Okay, so this is really important. If you want to move your artwork, well, I'll show you later. Okay, so it's not working too well, then that's okay. So if you're having issues rearranging them, my best advice is just to deselect, click on one, and then move it to the side. There you go. If they're all stuck together, that's when you're going to run into some issues. Actually, let's move this one up front and then move it here and move it here. So yeah, have fun with that. Try to see what results you're going to get. Oops. Okay, there you go. Let's select them, and now let's do align. There you go. So yeah, I would love for you guys to experiment and play around with the artboards, how you're going to set them up. Honestly, it doesn't really matter in the end result when you're printing or anything, because they're going to show up as pages and separate files. But if you want to have a more organized workspace when you're on Illustrator, just to make it feel more organized for you, it's better to just keep it very simple and you won't get too confused. if you're working with multiple artboards. Remember, every artboard is going to be a page that you're going to save. It's going to save as a JPEG or it's going to be saved as a PDF depending on what you do with it. Okay, so pretty easy. And there's another section, what I remember. Okay, let's go choose artboard. You can also edit them through here, but honestly, I'd rather just go to artboard options or just go to artboards. This is the easiest way to set it up. Here it's more just like making, going it through things a little quicker. Here's another one, just adding one, but honestly, I'd rather just go through the windows. It's a lot easier. Okay, I'm going to Control Z. Yeah, sometimes shortcuts are not the best way to go around things. Okay, so we're going to move on to snapping them up with rulers. Okay, so you experimented and you can add more artboards if you want to. That's completely fine, or you can just have up to 4. That's good too. What I want you guys to do is go to View and Fit All in Window or Fit Artboard in Window. So you can, again, try it out, move around a little bit more. Honestly, for right now, let's just go Fit All in Window so we can see the artboards, all of the artboards. Okay, now I want you to go to Rulers and Grids. And Rulers and Grids is pretty interesting because it's going to help us rearrange our artboards. And it's also really helpful if you have multiple things going on around in your file. Okay, so notice that there's a 0 here and there's a 0 here. That's called ruler origin. And it is usually on the upper left corner of the active or selected artboard. So just keep an eye on what's going on with the rulers. It's pretty interesting. I really do enjoy arranging them. And it's kind of a lot of fun, honestly. Okay, so we fit them all on the window. And let's go to the front artboard, make sure this is selected. Okay. And let's see, we're gonna have to change the units to pixels. Okay, but again, we're gonna go through here. So let's go to Edit, Preferences, Units, and we're gonna change it to pixels and press OK. Because once we start messing around with the guides, it's going to be extremely helpful. Okay, so let's create a guide first, and all you have to do is go here, click, and then drag down. And we're going to go to 600, so let's go all the way over here. And right there, that's your first guide. And notice the y-axis right here, it's very close to 600. We're not going to get it exact, and then press enter. Now we're exactly on 600. Okay, it's really helpful. And don't forget to press return when you do that. Okay, and then also let's save our file. And let's go to, I'm just going to save everything on the desktop and then I organize it way later. It's completely fine. Okay. So I had to take a little break, I'm sorry. All right, so now we're back to organizing our artboard. Okay, so what I had to do, let me just zoom out a little bit more. Okay, so what's really helpful is go here if you just want to reset or organize your artboard a little bit better. Go to this little section, this little square, click, and then drag, and make sure it's on the corner right here. So intersect here. Okay, and what happens is this becomes this is where the 0 aligns, and also this is where the 0 aligns. So you can do this with other artboards. Oh, let me see if it does work. Or other sections, so right here in the middle, you can reset it however you want. I think I accidentally made it a guideline. Okay, that's fine. Sometimes you just accidentally create one, that's okay. So I'm going to select the guideline. You can delete them. So press backspace or delete. Go backspace and you can delete your guidelines. Okay, we're going to go back here and actually we're going to see if we can bring it back to 600. okay, because I kind of messed around with where the rulers are. So, and again, if it messes up, don't worry, there's always a way to fix that. All right, so I'm going to zoom out so we can see all of the artboard or artboards. Okay. Okay, so once we got everything set up right here, my best to, I mean, when you want to work with guidelines, it's really, really easy. And I want to show you why guidelines are really helpful. Okay, so I'm going to set up a guideline here, and I'm also going to set up a guideline here. So let's go here, and we're going to go to 200. Let's do 200, and actually let's do 200 and 200. Okay, so we're not in the center, and that's completely fine. All right, now I'm going to create a rectangle. Let's do a rectangle. There you go. And I'm going to select the swatches here and then fill in. Make sure you get rid of the stroke. You don't need that. Okay. So I'm going to deselect. Now I'm going to select the guideline. You can select it. Okay, it's not selecting. Press Shift. Make sure this is selected. If you're having trouble selecting your guideline, that's okay. You can always create a marquee. Now you can see it's selected, so I'm going to go and jump in. It's pretty hard to select it, so my best advice is just to create a marquee and select them both. Now go to the Align section, and you can tell how it's all organized. So let's see. Oh, it went all the way down. Actually, never mind. It's Control Z. Oh, it's because I didn't select this. Okay, so there you go. I was like, why isn't it selected? Okay, there you go. So make sure you select this and just create this if you want to. Okay, now we're going to go and select or create another one here and another one here. Make sure they're both black. So let's add the fill. It can be whatever shape you want, honestly. It doesn't really matter. This is just for exercise. We're keeping it very simple today. Okay, so let's select this guideline and these shapes. Bring it down, and there you go. And don't forget, if you want to center your object in the artboard, we did this before, but it's really helpful to go there again. Okay, so we could go to Align to Artboard and then center it this way. And then you can also align to Artboard and have it meet the corner. So this is a really good way to organize your space. If you want to lock your guides, okay, now it's selected. If you want to lock your guides, okay, so let's select this. Okay, actually, I think I accidentally locked it. Oh yes, make sure they're not locked. Let's select it. So what happens if you have something selected, you don't see the lock guide. So all you have to do is go View, okay, Guides, and then Lock Guides right here. And then all of them are going to get locked. You can unlock them by going here, click to Unlock Guides. And then if you know, this is for the smart guides, but you know, I like to keep them. You know, the magenta ones that we like to use. As for the color of the guides, they're going to be different colors depending on what layer you have selected. So let's go for red. And you can see whenever you hover or select your guide, it's going to be the same color of your layers. But again, we're not going to work with layers. This is mostly for people who are more advanced in Illustrator. But if you're not, I won't touch them. It's just a little fun fact. Okay, and don't forget to save. Okay, so we got our guidelines, really helpful. And this is really helpful, especially when you're creating lines, you're creating a table, organizing your composition in your still lifes or whatever project you're working in. So this is extremely helpful. And this is a really easy assignment. I'm sure it's probably going to take maybe 20 minutes or even less. And we're going to keep it this way. All right, if you want to look at grids, feel free to do that too. Don't use perspective grids yet, because this is a pain in the butt to get rid of. Okay, so if you accidentally press like hotkey. It's pretty interesting. You're going to have to find a way to get rid of the grid. Okay, so let's select this. Yeah, sometimes they added this so we can easily get out, but honestly, it's not going to work. Okay, grids. Okay, so this is the one I want to see. And actually, let's get rid of this. Hide grid. Okay, now we're going to get rid of this. And let's see if we can find it through here. Grid. This is a perspective grid tool. So we're going to select this and then drag it here. And you have to have it selected for you to close it. So there you go. So if you accidentally press a certain key, you're going to have to find the grid tool and then just close it out. Yeah, it happens to me all the time. It happens to a lot of students all the time. I never use it because it's such a bother, and then I always forget how to close it. So this is a good way to just get rid of it. Don't deal with it. Don't look at it ever again. Okay, now we're going to go to the grid that I do want to show you. Okay, so this is more for if you want to work in 8-bit. You know, not everybody does it. I like to use 8-bit in Photoshop. That's where I like to create 8-bit art. But you can use the grid here if you want. Be really helpful. But I'm going to get rid of it because it's a little distracting for me. Okay. Now for your project, for your assignment, I want you guys to, let's get rid of this one. Just, let's see, let's move the axis here. So it's 200, selected. Okay, this is going to be 200. Press enter. Oh, no, actually, wrong one. Oh, it's negative 200. So let's go negative 200. Okay, there you go. Make sure it's exactly there. And this one's going to be 200. Let's see what happens. Okay, so make sure it's 200 by negative 200. So remember when you're working with the y-axis, it's really helpful to don't forget to put the minus sign here. Just copy this exactly. And then, okay, so make sure this is 200 by 200. And then make sure you align your shapes. What I want you guys to do is to create your rectangles. And I want to see one more grid that you created. So not a grid, one more perspective line. So I want you guys to just play around with a perspective line and set it up right here. Or you can add one horizontally, however you want. So I just want to see one more perspective line from you guys. Have fun with it. Figure out where you want to do it, and then add an extra shape on the second artboard. As for the last two artboards, I'm just going to get rid of the third one. Let's see, let me get rid of it. Oh yeah, I blanked out. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the third ones by pressing backspace, and I want you guys to name these. So let's go to artboard and front. So this is going to be front, middle. So I'm going to double click on the name, and then I'm going to go to number 3 and then last or back. Let's go back. Okay. All right. So make sure you have that. Again, let's get rid of this one. Actually, we don't need it. I just wanted to show you guys. Okay. So what I want to see from you guys again, 3 guidelines, and you can set up however you want. 3 shapes. No, actually 4 shapes. Okay, 4 shapes. So you can use the same shapes I did, and you're gonna have to add your own shape and align it however you want, as long as it's flush against one of these grids that you've created. And how you're gonna turn this in is gonna be really interesting. You're gonna have to screenshot. So what I like to do is I have print screen on my laptop. So I'm gonna press print screen, and that means it took a picture of all of this, right? So it's print screen, and what I like to do is let's go get a file, painter, paint. Or you can do this with Photoshop, it's completely fine, but I like to use paint whatever you like. And I'm going to press Control V. Okay, so Control V is paste. If if you can paste it any other way, that's completely fine. And so you're going to have your artboard assignment like this, and you're going to have all of this. So this is, hold on. Okay, so just have it here. You can make it smaller if you want, but I honestly don't care. And then you're going to go File, and then Save As. And you're going to, again, desktop's always helpful, and then you're going to save it as a JPEG. And then I'm going to name it Artboard Art30A. Oh, let's do Artboard. Yeah, there you go. 30A. And again, this is just for the Art 30A students, not for Art30B. And then just type in your name and save it as a JPEG and then save. That's all you need to do. Honestly, this is a really simple assignment. Just play around. Remember 4 shapes, and you get to have either 3 guidelines. And I will write the instructions on Canvas. No, actually have 3 guidelines. Sorry, I completely blanked out. Okay, so 3 guidelines and 4 shapes. There you go. All right, and that's it for now. Really simple, honestly. And then I want you guys to spend more time on working on your project next week. So that's why I made it really simple. And I don't want you guys to spend too much time on this assignment. Okay? If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm available on Remind, and I'll see you guys next time. And thank you and have a great week. Bye.